child is when or if they were born premature. If you have a child that was premature, then it is best to understand the possible outcomes. This benefits your child's health and growth. My cousin was born premature. He fought for his life on an incubator. Luckily, he grew up to be a healthy adult. When being born premature, the most common risks are perinatal asphyxia, periventricular leukomalacia, and hypotonia. With better knowledge of premature births, we can try to raise our kids accordingly. As authors Gilliam Cracker and Goen Jr. describe in their 2020 book, Birth Asphyxia, perinatal asphyxia is the lack of blood flow or gas exchange to or from the fetus immediately before, during, or after the birth process. When being born premature, it is best to know what perinatal asphyxia is. Farhana Tabascum describes in his Risk Factors Associated with Birth Asphyxia 2014, if you have a child that is underweight and premature, it is more likely that they would develop perinatal asphyxia and immortality. Mother's reported duration of pregnancy was taken as a proxy, and the data suggests that early-ended pregnancies carry a higher risk of perinatal asphyxia that ended in mortality at 39.8%, Risk Factors Associated with Birth Asphyxia 2014. Although birth asphyxia is not always fatal, it can lead to neurological deficits. These include respiratory distress, pulmonary hypertension, liver disease, myocardial, and renal dysfunction. Birth Asphyxia 2020. While the short-term effects are respiratory distress and pulmonary hypertension, the long-term effects are liver disease, myocardial, and renal dysfunction. While these can affect the renal and cardiac systems, we still need to talk about periventricular leukomalacia. Periventricular leukomalacia is a common brain injury found in babies who are born really early in the mother's pregnancy. Periventricular leukomalacia is a damaged white matter around the fluid-filled ventricles of the brain. A group of doctors from China held a study of 408 with children of 408 with periventricular leukomalacia, found that severe PVL was observed in preterm infants at 63.4% under the age of 28 weeks and 22% between the weeks of 28 and 30. And a low birth weight infants who were prone to quadriplegia at 44%. Sheng Ma, 2015. Aya KP explains in his neonatal periventricular leukomalacia current perspectives published in 2018 that the PVL was the most common cause of cerebral palsy and cognitive deficits among premature infants. Quadriplegia is a subgroup of cerebral palsy, and the work reference titled Webster Dictionary, last updated 2020, defined quadriplegia as paralysis in all four limbs. Last but not least is the common hypotonia and what we're going to know about hypotonia. According to the BCH website, last updated 2020, hypotonia means decreased muscle tone. Just like this baby, when the baby is born, they have no real true control of their muscles. The BCH also found that hypotonia can be progressively changed with physical therapy. Those who can live a somewhat normal life, the hypotonia is called benign congenital hypotonia. Benign congenital hypotonia allows some to regain the gross motor skills and may not experience any developmental deficits. With all the risk associated with premature births, I hope you took the time to listen to what I had to say. It is important that we pay attention to something like this, because if we ever had to experience, we would like to be able to be more prepared. With that, I would like to thank you for listening to my speech on the neurological deficits of premature births among children.